Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I am back. It's Sunday night. Welcome, welcome. As always, I am not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, or a financial advisor. If you need one of those, please seek those. I will do my best to answer the questions. Hopefully, the internet will not kaputs like it did last week. We had somebody come out, so hopefully it's fixed. Okay, I guess y'all are ready. Please like and subscribe. Share me with your friends. All of that good stuff. I got to do some really cool readings. Got some great validations from people. Hello, Kawana and Lily. Pink Purple Hearts. Welcome back. Are you making tortillas? Patricia, hello. Blue Storm, hello. Maria E. Sherry, thank you for the donations. There was somebody else who donated too, so thank you if you're here. KK, welcome. Thank you, KK, for your help. Give an energetic applause for KK. Hi, Jazz Hands. Welcome back. Hi, Regine. Lily says, hi, Annalisa. Sunday already. Hope you had a nice weekend. Was my husband, Jason, and my sons, Benji and AJ, with me in past lives? Absolutely. I actually feel like one of your sons was a brother in a past life. Our family and our friends, we tend to run in what's called soul families, right? So we tend to reincarnate and incarnate multiple times with the same people in different in role reversal ways. So you may be a wife in one life and a husband in the other life, father, mother, sister, brother, uncle, friend, coworker, whatever. But so there's going to be a lot of people that you run into your life where you feel like you just know them and you've just met them. They're more often than not part of your soul family. While I don't necessarily believe in soul mates, I do believe in soul families. Starry Sky. The reality is your nightmare family tenant problem. It may go as far as having to file paperwork for eviction, but I do feel like they will leave. I feel like, honestly, you've always kind of been easily bent and you give in a lot and you don't hold your boundaries. And so they've taken advantage of it. The one piece of advice that I've learned through my own family dealings is don't ever lend money or do anything with expecting anything return because it will not happen. And oftentimes when you have people who aren't respectful of boundaries, especially family members, then they'll also turn it around on you and make you feel like you've done something wrong. But I do feel like they will have no option, but I also feel like you need to get real comfortable with pulling that line and holding it straight and holding it firm. Have you sold your current place yet? Because I just want to see what I get on a timeline for that. Hello, Lisa and Mojo and Serena B. They will not leave. They will leave. But have you sold the property yet? They will leave. You just say, like, I'm selling this. You start showing it, and that's all there is to it. They don't have an option. Hello, Joy Love, Shanella. I'll get to you only have to type your question one time. I promise I'll get to you. I was just saying hello. I'm trying to be a little more hello-y. Okay. No, I didn't skip you. I didn't. I still have to go up there. There's like 30 people oftentimes that type their question in the first minute or two. So each time block actually has several different comments, and my order is different than yours. Do not apologize. It's okay. Hi, Sherry Kirk. All right. Well, I'm going to move on, but they will move out. And I keep getting October for being a significant month for that starry sky. So I don't know if it's that you sell in October. I do feel like when you decide to sell, it will sell very quickly. Um, but something about October. So, but they will have to leave. As much as you feel like, oh, they won't leave, they have to leave. Like there's no option. Legally, they will have to leave. Don't worry. It doesn't mean it'll be pretty for you. It doesn't mean energetically it won't be hard. They're giant pains in the, so um now Maria E, you're up for your general reading. You will have children. I don't know if you've ever considered being a foster parent, but there's something where I feel like I'm mothering somebody that didn't necessarily come from my own womb, that I either adoption or fostering, but it feels like maybe even at a point feeling called to do that. That being said, I do feel like you lean towards being very anxiety ridden, and it's not just because like you skip me. I just feel that really like that. It's like a vibration, like a buzzy vibration I get, and it's not like a bad, but it's that feeling of always being, even when you say that, it's like always being skipped over, worrying it's somehow going to get missed, worrying you're not going to get picked for your turn, or like if you were to order a reading from me, and I try to get back to people when they purchase a reading, I try to get back to them very, very quickly. It is within hours. If not, I mean, most people are like, whoa, that was quick, because I try to respond right away because I know what it's like on my end to purchase one and wonder if am I going to get scammed? But it's that feeling of like always worrying that like I turn something in and like not getting enough, like not getting your dues, whatever. And, some of that is manifestation and mindset. Sorry, I'm just asking them, where is that coming from? There's this like dead bug on my wall up there, and every time I look up there, I see it. Gotta go get that. Because we're in the basement always has bugs. Not always, but there's always some weird crawly thing. Anyway, so sorry. It's that feeling of when you constantly think this is the way it always is. Like I always used to say, like, I kill plants, I have a black thumb, whatever. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to change that. And I've actually been doing really proud. Well, this one, just like, I'm going to get rid of that one. But I've been doing really, really good with so I'm slowly adding more plants as I realize, okay, maybe I don't have a black thumb. I really can. Like, so I've tried to shift it. And it sounds like such a silly thing to shift your belief system, but if you shift that belief system that the universe, instead of being worried that it's never going to happen for you, that the universe always has my back. If you look back at your life, even when you thought things were terrible, like somehow something always kind of like made things work. Maybe it wasn't in the timing you hoped or whatever, but it always ended up being perfect timing. So if you just trust, no matter what, instead of getting nervous, this will work out. The universe always has my back. It sort of shifts the energy around you. And then that's what begins to happen. I also used to when I would go into the city for church, I would meet my husband outside of the city. We'd switch cars. He'd take my car with the kids, and because I have all the car seats in my car, and I'd take his car, drive back into the city. And for the first like maybe 6 months I was doing church services, I would think, oh, I'm never going to find parking on the street. So I'd always pay like a boatload for parking because it's New York City. And then what happened was I decided I'm just going to always be able to find parking in the city within 3 blocks north or south of the church. Like it's always super easily walkable. I'm always going to find park. And I've always, ever since I did that and decided this is what happens, I've always found parking. Always, even when my husband and I went in to for a concert at the Beacon, it was like I was like, oh no, we'll find parking on the street. Like, I just decided that that's the way it is, that we will always find parking on the street for free. So, just shift the mindset is sort of your thing, and shift how you see things. Okay. That was Maria E. Please do not, if I've answered your question, please do not retract it, because it helps me find my space where I was at. Please and thank you and thank you. Okay? Appreciate. Hi, Breezy Breezy. Lucy, can I have a message from my spirit guides? Absolutely. Okay. Hello, Devry. Apparently, we're going to talk about your health. I don't know if you drink, but whatever it is, it feels like drinking too much. So it may be too much coffee, so it may not be actual alcohol. But it feels like drinking too much, I feel like I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not eating well enough. I'm not taking care of self. They were sort of said she needs to get back on track. So maybe we're doing, like, here's an example, Weight Watchers, and doing super, super, super good for it. And then good on it for a really long time. And it's a good eating plan, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden the COVID stuff hits and the stress hits and you kind of fall off of it. And they're sort of talking about like getting back on track. And it feels very much with health, not with work, creativity, whatever. It just feels like very much I need to get back on track with eating better and taking better care of myself. That is your message for the evening. Devry, believe it or not, I don't know what he does for a living. But I will say this. I don't know exactly what he does, but I feel like I lean towards more being entrepreneurial or something like that. I also lean toward, like, I'm not an attorney, a doctor, or something where I wear a suit or I have a uniform, because I feel like I'm in more street clothes. I'm more comfortable, but I still feel like I've got a nice watch on. That's what I keep seeing, like the watch, and like well dressed, and I feel fit and takes care of himself. And I feel that confidence of either being higher up in some sort of company or being, I don't know, whatever it is, but it's not something where I dress formally. So it could be an entrepreneur doing his own business, whatever, but I feel like I know what I do. Like, I'm very confident about what I do, and I'm well respected for what I do, but it's not something where I wear like a suit or tie, or I don't have a dress code I have to go by or anything like that. Okie dokie. Nicole Plant. I am doing well. Any messages for you, please? Thank you. Okay. I say messages for me or messages for you, but they're for you regardless. Okay. By the way, I want to say this. If you are here for a mediumship, understand at a point I can't do everybody's, like, if 5 or 6 people want mediumship, I can't necessarily do mediumship for everybody. So if you're open to another question, put the name of the person that you would like to reach out to, and also, if you can't do that, do the question. Mediumship takes me a little bit longer than talking to your guides, because I have to make sure the person I have standing here fits the person that you want. And if not, I need to figure out who this person is and why they're deciding to come through instead. Somebody from last week, she wanted her mother, and it ended up being her spouse's mother that came through. So it takes longer, and it's a little bit, it's more back and forth, and it's a little bit harder on this form, but I'm always willing to try. But if there's like a lot of people, then I can't do it for everybody, because I will be here for 3 hours, and I don't want to be here for 3 hours because I get too tired and it's late and everything else. So, okay. So Nicole would like a general, then Launa. Okay. Are you feeling nervous about having a conversation or just giving a presentation or something? Because it's that feeling of slow down, speak slowly, speak slower than you're supposed to speak, and don't be nervous. You'll be okay. You'll be well received. Um, have you been having headaches lately too? Because I'm just feeling this headache now. Or do you suffer from migraines, Nicole? Thanks, KK. I was never a cheerleader. No, I've been accused of being happy most of the time. I have a pretty good outlook on life, but never a cheerleader. I'm not bendy enough or bouncy enough. And in Texas, that's where I grew up. Like, I mean, please, you had to be basically a gymnast in order to be a cheerleader. Uh, you are a nervous person. Okay, so it just feels like whatever it is, it just feels like just slow down, go slower than you think. It may feel awkward or slower, and breathe more, relax. Um, oh, okay. Yeah, just go slow and like plan it out. Plan it out what you're going to say, the points, and even bring a note card in and just say, I just want to make sure that I like hit what I need to hit because you can even say like, I'm nervous. I want to make sure it's okay to be honest and open when you're doing something like that because it's human. And I always found that like as a nurse, I even had patients say to me, like, you're the most honest person I've ever met because I was always really open with them and honest because I felt that offers a level of trust that and energetically it comes across. So yeah. I lived in Texas until I was 14. I went to high school and college in Wisconsin. Then I moved back to Texas, moved to Austin and worked in Austin for a couple of years, then Houston for a couple of years, and then to New York City as a travel nurse. And I know I don't have a Texas accent. And when I used to drink, you would hear like a mix of Texas and Wisconsin. Oh my God, hey, oh, hey, like a large coffee and a bag of popcorn, pap. And in Wisconsin, they're bubblers, which I could never even force myself to call them. They're just water fountains. Okie dokie. Sorry. Ramble. Um, I feel like my brain is like, we hung outside all day yesterday, and I have like, grass and I are not super, super good friends, pollen season. And yeah, it was rough. Okay, Nicole, that was just you. Lana. I don't, or is it Lana? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Shakur. What do my guides want me to know at this time? They're really wanting you to focus on learning to set boundaries and speaking your truth. So it's like understanding that it's that fear of ruffling feathers and that fear of not really being great at confrontation. So they're sort of like learning to just say what it is that you need, set your boundaries, and go with it. Understand you will get pushback. Setting boundaries and learning to set your boundaries when you have never done that is really hard. It's really uncomfortable, and it takes practice. It's not something that you get the first time around. So, but it feels like just getting brave and doing that seems to be a big thing. And then a little puppy dog is popping up, maybe a Chihuahua mix. So I don't know if this is a dog you have or a dog you had. Waiting. Okay. I'm going to just kind of keep moving because I feel like I'm getting behind and I don't want to miss anything. Debbie, Nicole, Lana, Lily. Your screen froze, Tracy. Any messages from your guides? There's a lot of you here tonight who have like a throat chakra thing where it's like not needing to speak your truth, needing to speak up. This arises a lot with a lot of women. I also feel like, Tracy, so it's like learning to speak your truth, but I also feel like really learning to trust your gut. I just feel such a tightness in my solar plexus, and it's that feeling of like you second guess yourself all the time, and they're sort of saying, stop doing that, stop, because you are really intuitive. You do hear us, you do see us. I feel like your dreams are very, very vivid and connect you very closely with spirit, but you second guess yourselves, and it's almost that, am I crazy? Or I don't want to be rude and judgmental. So they're saying just sort of stick to your guns, trust your intuition. It doesn't make you a bad person if you feel off around somebody or a certain situation. It just means you're trusting your gut, and the vibration is different. I don't know if I put her name here, so I'm going to put it here. I'm going to leave you with that since I don't see you responding at all. Just because I need to move through these a little bit quicker than I have been. Hello, Mallory. Talisa, Kamani's feelings towards you. So I feel like I heard he likes her all right, but it's not moving forward, or it's not going to move forward at the pace you want. And I don't feel like it'll move to where you want it to. Hi, Regine. They said, congratulations on hitting your goals. Have you been setting goals lately and sort of like making them? And it just feels like congratulations on hitting your goals and setting a pace and sort of shifting into a more of a manifestation mindset. Lizzie just wants a general reading. Okay. I just heard serenade. I don't know why I heard that. Are you a singer? Weight loss goals, you hit it. Congratulations. Good job. That is awesome. That is huge. You should be so proud of yourself. Good job. I don't know what this is, what the serenade thing was. Let me see. You know what's interesting with you, Liz, is I feel like you would do really good with manifesting while you're dancing. So, they tell you to like, there's like one idea of manifesting things where you're like in your sleepy dream state, that's when you have your visualizing. But I feel like with you, if you did it while you were like moving around and dancing to music and doing the imagery in your head, then it would actually work better for you. Like if you've had blocks towards manifesting, I feel like that would be huge movement for you, or a breakthrough for you. KK, what do I see happening in your love life in the next few months? So they're sort of talking about being rigid in the way you choose people, and it feels like having a breakthrough and like either going on a date with somebody or meeting somebody that's like sort of outside the box and outside the realm of what you would have thought as a possibility. Um, I feel like that's about 2 months out. Um, and it feels like it breaks the monotony. I don't know if this is the one because they're not sort of saying that, but it just feels like something happens where it changes and I shift my mindset and my view of what it is I think I want or who I want. And this person sort of kind of is, again, outside the box and a little bit of a breakthrough for me. Hello, Koana. You give me guidance from your guides. Okay, general reading. Hello, Sharita. Sharita, just because hers is really quick and I can answer it quicker, I'm going to just do it, even if it's not in the same order. And then I'm going to do Kawana's. Sharita, I feel like it's going to be for the disability going through. I feel like it's going to be late October into the first week of November. I do feel like there's a little bit of a backup, and I feel like there's a weird snag in paperwork, but it's minor, but it's just not caught right away. So that's might hold you up just a little bit from that. All right, Kawana. I'm just trying to figure out why they're making me feel like you're trying to talk to me, but your mouth is full. Oh, so they're like, it's like I'm rushing around trying to do so many things that I'm not even stopping what I need to do to take a break and eat. Like I eat through my lunch break, you know what I mean? Like I'm working and eating and whatever. It's like they're sort of like you need to put some speed bumps and to slow you down and to pace yourself better. You have to carve out time in your day to eat or to do self-care. Believe me, I know what it's like to have, like when I worked my shifts as a nurse, I was like, when I came to New York, I was like, wait, like they're big on breaks in New York. Like the nurses in New York are huge on getting their breaks. Like it's really funny. Like I've never in Texas and Wisconsin, I worked as a student nurse intern. It was totally different. It was not like you need your break. It was like totally different. So it just feels like I'm working so hard. I'm not even really taking time for myself. And I need to really make sure I'm taking time for myself and doing that self-care. You're going to burn yourself out. Everything in life is about balance, right? So you can't be extreme on anything or you're out of balance. Even spirituality, if you're an extreme spiritual person, you're still out of balance somewhere else. You have to try and find balance. And it may mean that one day you're extreme on one end and less on the other, but overall in general, you need to be more balanced and you're not giving yourself enough quality time for yourself, reboot time for you. And it's really important that you do that because I do feel like that eventually your health is going to suffer from it if you don't. So, Osland. You can be home and still not doing enough time for yourself. I know that I have less time for me now that everybody's home in a sense than I did when I was shuttling everybody back and forth to all of their stuff. So if they're giving it to me, I'm going to leave it at that because there's some reason. There's plenty of times where I've given readings and people are like, that makes no sense. And then they come back and be like, oh, by the way, when you said that thing that made no sense, like I'm going to move, I moved. So Osland, you're up. Wanted a general reading. Okay. Okay. Oslan, have you been working on doing meditation and like sort of trying to go within and connect to your own spirit guides and feeling like it's not working? I know somebody else asked about spirit guides too, but I feel like this might connect to you as well. And it feels like they're saying you're going deep and you're going within. Stop having expectations of how it's supposed to be and how we're supposed to come through. It's different for everybody. If you go, like when I was in some of my psychic development classes, at the first one, I was like, I think there was like 30 people in the first class that I was in, and the first section. And we all have very different experiences, and even different, like when I connect with other people that do what I do, we all sort of read differently and we do things differently. So don't expect it to be one way. You can take what I say and like, oh, that might be her experience, but we all have sort of different experiences and it comes through in different ways. So um, lower the expectation. I do feel like you need to breathe a little bit more just on the regular basis. Like, I know we all breathe for metabolic reasons, but I feel like you didn't get skipped, Joy. My order is different than your order. Okie doke. Psychic development, I did, it's Holistic Studies Institute in New York City. And he told me the other day, he reached out to me and said he's going to work on trying to get some stuff online. I want to do some like development online stuff as well. And I'm figuring out ways to do that because they can do breakout rooms, but I just now need time to sit down and I've got some stuff written out and I'm figuring out like how I want to break up the classes and stuff like that and pricing. Does that make sense, Osland? Are you here? I'm gonna have to move forward. Sonia Rain, any messages from Spirit for you? I know I need to get rolling on it. I do. It was just, it was a lot having Stu with his surgery and all of that. So, and I will say this, out of all the, like I did stuff, there was a school here, a couple stuff I, did in New Jersey and done some other things, other places. And I personally liked Holistic Studies the best. I just felt like it was, it's very well organized. There was a syllabus, which a lot of people don't have. And I guess I just really connected with the people I had in class too. So that really made a difference. Yep. All right, Sonia Rain, any messages? I'm just trying to see. I saw Joy Love. I saw your name, but I just saw a hello. I didn't see an actual question. So I'll find you. Don't worry. You're not going to be skipped. You will not leave here tonight without getting her reading. That's how I work. I'm a workhorse. So I'm wearing this, like, I have like a lot of my photos on my website stuff are in the dress. It's a caftan. And I realized tonight, I was like, oh, this is what Mrs. Roper wore. Like all of the 70s and Three's Company was caftans. They're very comfortable, but that's what I thought of tonight before. Okay. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Okay. Sonia Rain. Get moving, Anna. Get moving. All right. This is interesting. They said to me, "What are you afraid of? Don't lead with fear." So, is there something that that's been holding you back because you're afraid? Because it feels like fear really, really paralyzes you. Um, and I said so much so that like fear of failure is a huge obstacle for you. It's a huge obstacle for a lot of people, but I feel like for you in particular, it's like it's also like almost like even in your spiritual conquest, it's like you read something and it sounds scary. So you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. So, connecting in, maybe hearing spirit or whatever, because I do feel like you are highly intuitive yourself, but it's like you're almost afraid of opening up more because you're afraid of what you're going to experience. Anytime anything has been way too much for me, I'm like, dude, not like that again. Like just quiet it down, shrink it in, shrink the energy in, whatever. I'm not cool with that. I've learned to set really great boundaries with your guides. And let me tell you, your guides and spirit are way more respectful of boundaries than people are. So it's way easier to set boundaries in the psychic world and doing all of that work. They don't want you to be afraid. They don't want to scare you because they want to keep the connection open. So Jay Han, why can't I communicate with my guides? I feel like you can. I feel like it's that idea of the slight bit of fear in there of how it's going to feel or what you're going to hear or how it's going to experience that's sort of creating a block for you. So it's sort of just understanding they aren't going to do anything. So then you set the boundary of like, when you communicate with me, make sure it's clear and concise, and that it's comfortable for me to receive it. That I'm okay and comfortable receiving it. Oh, awesome. Good job. I'm glad she's in college. Was that the one where I said something about August 9th? Like it might be the next day, but it'll be right around then. Yeah, so it's the chills. Just recognize, like, if you learn to just accept that's a really obvious one for some people. Some people get anxiety right before they connect in with their spirit guides too. So instead of going, oh my god, that must mean I'm freaking out, just be like, oh, that's just my vibration changing in order to connect in with them. Okay, wait, so that it was the 9th. Oh, now Maria, I don't remember what I said. Oh, you're saying that. Okay. You're welcome, Jay. Dulcie B, may I please have a general reading? Sherry, we're good. The fat, smelly slave owner. I'll try and find a better one. I'm sorry. Listen, we have all had all kinds of lives and all kinds of roles, and experienced everything and been everything because we're trying to learn from each point of view. What's interesting, I feel like you were actually an apothecary because I feel like I saw. I'm sorry, Dulcie. I'm going to Sherry real quick, and then I'll bounce back to you, Sherry. I feel like an apothecary to point, and I feel very related to herbs and flowers and understanding because I see like hanging them in and having little bottles and little potions and things like that, and it feels like. I don't know what time because there's I feel like it's over in Europe that I am though, because I feel like it's just the way the interior of the building feels. I wish I could tell you a time frame, maybe 1700s. All right, now you're up, Dulcie. I'm gonna just put Sherry here so I don't forget that I answered hers. And it might have been either like Scotland or Ireland, because I'm hearing that kind of a accent. Like where it's English, but it's kind of like got that funny where you're like, are you speaking English? Don't think that personally if anybody's from over there, because listen, my first job in high school was at a nursing home and I worked in the kitchen, and there was a woman from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, the Yooper. And I was like, what country are you from? I literally thought she was from like Finland or a Scandinavian country, because I had no fucking clue what she was saying. The accent was so interesting. So accents are interesting, but yeah, so it just feels like it's Scotland, Ireland-y. And if you're from there, please don't get offended if I said you're from, it sounds Scottish, and they don't sound exactly the same, but give a girl a break. Okay. All right, Dulcie, you're so patient. God love you. What's funny is they said she is very patient and she's learning the art of patience, and she's gotten very good at being patient and waiting and sort of going with the flow, which is not something that you used to do. And they sort of want to say that it's brought a lot of peace to your life, and a lot of happiness to your life. And maybe it's not, your life isn't extravagant and everything else, but it's become very peaceful and something that you always hoped that you would have, and you finally have it. They also want to congratulate you on sort of coming to a huge place of being compassionate and empathetic and offering that to other people, because it really is a gift to offer that to other people. And it becomes like an emotionally and energetic, you are an emotional and energetic safe place for others. So I think that's pretty big. I'm going to leave you with that. Patricia G. When will you be relocating to Vancouver? I need to learn a little bit more about Canada, because apparently the Canadians like my channel. So welcome and thank you. Who knew that all the Canadians would like my channel? I like the Canadians, all the ones I've met. They seem very kind. April keeps popping up for me, but I don't know that it'll be that long. Does April mean anything to you? Because it doesn't feel like it's that long, but I keep getting April is popping up. Something that happened in Wisconsin that I'd never seen anywhere else is that everybody likes to give you nicknames. So in my head, for some reason, I thought, Patty G. Sorry. Kwana, I think I answered yours. Miriam M, your guides. Oh, you're in Ottawa now. You're welcome, Dulcie. Thank you, Isha. In 2 months is your plan. What do you What's the significance of April? So is a birthday in April? Nothing in April. There's something in April. So here's what I think. Okay. I think that for whatever you feel like 2 months, it feels like something gets put on hold, but it's not indefinite. It just gets put on hold. And I don't know if it's that. You graduated from school. Okay, there. Thank you. I'm like, there's something about April. Okay. So when I asked, this is why I said I feel like it's earlier, because I heard April, but then I asked about the years 2021, and I asked like, and it said it feels like it's before the beginning of the year, but I don't feel like, so 2 months to me would be mid-October. I feel like for some reason it's November to December. It's definitely, and I don't know why, but I feel like there's something, for some reason it gets put on hold. So either a lease falls through or there's some kind of weird thing, but I feel like for whatever reason it gets put on hold, or they say there's a training period that you're supposed to be doing something. They change the training period from being the third week of October to the second week of November. So I don't move quite for whatever reason until that time. I don't know what it is, but it feels like it's pushed back a little bit, but before January, and I didn't know what the significance was, why I heard April, but so just so all of you know, there's like, I don't know how many comments, like 40 comments in the 8:37 mark. So if you're like wondering when am I going to get to, I'm going to get to you. It does takes time when there's like 40 of you in a 1 minute time period. Miriam. So it's funny, as I said, be a straight shooter. Don't beat around the bush. Don't tiptoe around it. Just be a straight shooter about it. It feels like pull the Band-Aid off. It'll hurt less. Like pull it off quick. It'll hurt less. So whatever you've been like kind of avoiding, or you're trying to find the right way to say it, they're sort of like, just say it, just lay it out there. It's not going to be as bad as you think it is. They're not going to receive it in such a way that you think they are. Lauren James, any messages from your guides? Lauren Jane, sorry, dear. I don't know who Lauren James is. So they said, hold tight to your truth no matter what anybody tells you one thing is or another thing is. Just know your truth and hold your truth. And it's really important that you hold tight to that. So I don't know if you're in a relationship where where someone's been gaslighting you, or where it feels like someone's trying to convince you that something's not as bad as it is or whatever, but it just hold tight to your truth, hold tight to your truth. Like whatever's been going on, you aren't making it up. It's not in your head. Hold tight to your truth. Mallory, are you having a biopsy done? Because I felt like the feeling of biopsy and that it's fine. It comes back at a 9. Jazz hands, I didn't get to you yet. Mallory, I felt like, so it's like if I was having, say, a lump removed in my breast, it feels like it would be a fatty lipoma versus being an actual, it's a type of tumor, but it's not, it's a benign thing. Or if I'm having a biopsy of a skin thing, it's they're abnormal cells, but they're not cancerous abnormal cells. You are, okay. So it's like whatever it is, I was giving you the examples of whatever it is, it feels like they're abnormal, but they're not cancerous abnormal. Breezy, breezy. Gerald's your spirit guide? Okay. You're better than I am. I don't really know my spirit guides' names. That is the honest to God truth. I just feel them. Although one night, I heard like 4 or 5 people around me talking, and some of them were in different languages. So, and like not earthly ones, or nothing. Not of this time frame. We'll just put it this way. So maybe they were speaking some old ancient language. It felt like when you're at, like, have you ever had your wisdom teeth pulled where you're like sort of like out of it and people are talking, you're like, that feeling. So it feels like congratulating you. That Marvin Gaye song comes to my head like a lot. I don't know why, but it's like there's actually like a message in it. So like, and it's easy for them to give it to me. So I'm like, okay, it says, anyway, random rambling. But it's sort of like you used to sort of like stand back and wait for things to happen and kind of like be much more timid. And it was sort of like you finally took your shot and went out there and just like threw caution to the wind, and you went after what you were wanting to go after and reaching and maintaining your goals. And it's sort of like congratulating you on shedding that old shell and shedding that old belief system and shedding that old idea and self-defeating inner dialogue, and really putting yourself out there, because you are doing extremely well, and they're proud of you and they want you to do more of that. Alessandra, Rigo's feelings for you. I think I spelled your name wrong. I don't know. It just like with all red lines under there, but I hope that you'll figure out that I meant you. Your guides are funny. They're like, he's just like, meh, she can do better. Like you're caught up on him, but he's not quite up to your par. So I'm not sure you're supposed to be moving in that direction. Drea. Joy Love, I saw your name at one point and now I don't see it popping up again. So I'm looking for you. Any advice from your guides? So they said, it's funny. It's like you're almost waiting for them to tell you what to do and what the next move is and where you're supposed to go, and hoping that it's just gonna like the instructions are gonna fall into place. And they're sort of like, don't be afraid. We won't let you screw it up. So it's like, just make a decision and move in that direction, and don't be afraid of it, because we'll never let you fall. We'll never let you totally screw it up. And even what maybe seems like a total screw up ends up being like, when things fall apart, it's really stuff falling together. So like a lot of the most successful people in the world have failures and have mistakes behind them, and they learned from it. So it's not all a total loss. It just wasn't, you weren't supposed to move in that direction. You were supposed to move in another direction. a friend of mine who's I went to college with, is in real estate. He was like, "Oh, I had this huge deal fall through," and I was like, "Don't worry about it. Like it's leaving room and opening up for bigger and better things." And he's doing extremely well. So it just feels like don't worry about, oh my God, what if it's not the right thing? They're sort of like, just take a step and move your energy into a direction, and we'll start feeding stuff for you to know exactly what direction you're supposed to go into, and if you need to move left or right or up or down or whatever, even though I moved my hand right when I said left. I do know my left and right. Hello, Sherry Kirk. Kimmy J, will your daughter find true love? She will, but not the first time around, and maybe not the second time around. And really what needs to happen for her is finding like a level of love and level of love and respect for herself. It doesn't mean like, look, if we aren't really good to ourselves, it doesn't mean people can't love us or we're not lovable. But what happens is when we're good to ourselves and we love ourselves, we tend to not tolerate the shitty people loving us, even though everybody deserves love, even shitty people. I totally get it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, we find healthier love. Even unhealthy love can be considered true love, right? It's just unhealthy and dysfunctional. It's to the capacity that those people are capable of loving. So this idea of true love is sort of a weird fairy tale in my eyes. But yes, I do feel like she will find a healthier relationship, but I don't feel like it's in the first or second time around. Autumn, why do I keep having romantic dreams about AH? Is this a sign that we are going to are meant to be together? Not always. I don't feel like it is a sign that you're going to be together, but for whatever reason, I do feel like you're matching up energetically with him in the ethers. Are you currently in a relationship with somebody else? And believe it or not, I don't always know this, because there are times, oftentimes, where I feel like somebody is not married at all and they are in fact very married, but their relationship is in the poopers. And so they feel like they're not with somebody at all. Just because you have a ring and just because you have a contract does not make you in a relationship. It makes you in a legal contractual agreement. It feels like there's like, the feeling I get is I'm in a relationship and I can't actually be with this person, but is this what this means? Because I keep dreaming about them. Not in a relationship. Is AH in a relationship? I feel like there's somebody else coming in 2 to 3 months, but it's not. I don't feel a relationship ending up with this person. I'm just going to leave it at that. Nicola, or wait, Autumn, sorry. Oh, that was you. Nicola, how are my psychic skills coming along? So I'm going to just tell it to you this way, because it doesn't feel like I'm doing terrible or anything like this, but it does feel like a little bit of fear kind of holds me back and is sort of blocking me. They will never, ever, ever, like, I wanted to be where I am when I first finished all of my classes. I would have been a wreck. Like if I was having all of the experiences I have now and as quickly as I have them, they're never going to open you up so quickly that you can't handle it. And if you feel uncomfortable, don't do it that way anymore. And you say like, okay, that's like, that was not cool. I used to have a lot of different rules for how they could share things or what they could share. And they kind of eased me into receiving more receiving more um, and things that maybe I was uncomfortable with in the past that I get now and I'm more comfortable with. And it was sort of like, okay, but now you have to. So they'll do it at a slower pace if you're not comfortable with it because they're not going to do anything. I do feel like your clear audience is going to open up a little bit slower than you're intending or hoping. How you're hoping it will open up, but it will open up. And there's a little bit of a fear of being wrong that's holding you back too, because I can feel that in my throat chakra. Like this connection of hearing it, but being afraid of getting it wrong. So I don't want to say it. Be open to being wrong. I will always say I may be wrong in how I interpret it, but I know what they're giving me as right. So because I trust my guides 100%, I may not trust myself. And I sort of had to go with that at first before and then build the confidence and connection with them. And then I like let go of that idea of I don't trust myself because now I'm like, I trust what I'm getting. I may not be interpreting it right, but I do trust what I'm getting and what they're showing me. So sometimes I'll tell you what I'm seeing because sometimes it's just like, I don't know what this means, but you are, just be patient with it because it does take longer than some of us would like. Jazz hands. I am healthy. Thank you. You're a hot mess right now. You are not a hot mess. You know, I mentioned this on somebody's, another medium's thing. They showed this funny meme of like the universe telling you like, you're doing great. You're so wonderful. And then like, I don't remember who it was, but it was like, they looked drunk and like just a mess. Like this hairy dude. And it makes me laugh because I will have clients come to me for readings. They're like, everything is terrible. Everything's horrible. And I read their energy. I'm like, you're really doing pretty okay. And then like other people come to me and they're like, I'm great. The world's wonderful. I'm like, you're a fucking mess. So, I mean, I don't really say that, but like it's opposite. Oftentimes I find the people that feel like they're a mess really aren't. They're just very hard on themselves. So try to be kinder and gentler with yourself. What's the significance of 7 months? So has it been 7 months since your mother passed, or did she pass in the month of July? But it feels like there's like a significant, it hasn't been that long and I'm having a really, really hard time. She makes me feel like you were always really hard on yourself and like always wanting to be a perfectionist. Seven days. Okay. 7 days since she passed? Oh, good dear. I'm so sorry. Oh, can you not be so hard on yourself? It's okay for you to be a mess right now. Okay? It's okay for you to be a mess. Oh. So there's like a mix from her, what I'm getting. I have no idea, Leon. I'm in the middle of something. There's a mix of what I'm getting. So I'm getting one side I'm getting from her is I don't want to talk about how I passed in my illness because it's too fresh and it's too raw right now. It's too much. The other part of it I'm getting though is I am getting it's okay. Like pressure here wrapped around and tightness here in my neck. Does this make sense for how she passed, jazz hands. Was she a smoker? This is why mediumship takes longer, because there's a delay between you're answering me and then there's like I'm going back with them. So that's why I try not to do too much. She was a smoker because I heard like a smoky voice that did she have lung cancer and that would have metastasized to the brain? Steph R, I'm not taking any new questions tonight. Okay. So what's interesting is I feel like only nasal cannula. So I don't feel like I went to extremes to try and finish everything. I don't feel like, and what's interesting is I also feel like even though it was planned, it was like, even though we knew it was coming, it was still very sudden. Like we didn't expect it when it happened. We didn't, and she wants to reassure you that everything was done right. Everything was okay. Everything was done right. I don't feel like I was in pain. What's interesting is that even if I had respiratory issues, I don't feel like I'm struggling. So she's not making that the big thing. I think she actually makes me feel like this head stuff was worse for her, kind of coming back here, than this. But I don't feel like I was suffering or in a lot of pain. And she said, even though it might have been hard to watch me do that, I was able to actually kind of come and go in my body. So I wasn't present for all of it. Okay. So she showed me my friend's father who passed away when I lived in Houston, and he had lung cancer that metastasized to the brain. And he had a few episodes of seizures and things like that. And it feels like if I had those, I wasn't really there for it. So I didn't feel all of the pain and the suffering. She makes me feel like you did everything the way I would have done it had I been able to give permission to do it. She says she goes, I didn't want you to save me. I didn't want you to save me. So as much as you wanted to, she didn't want you to. It feels like the way she showed it is like you left the room and I said goodbye because I knew you would do everything you could to save me, and I didn't want that. It was okay. So she's okay. She loves you. She's at peace. She is not in pain, nor do I feel like she ever really felt the pain except for the head. And like, for whatever reason, it feels like it wraps kind of around into the back a little bit. But I am okay. I was okay. I love you. You did everything right. And to be gentle and kind with yourself. That's for me, the gentle and kindness. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Grieve, and grief comes in waves. And don't judge it, because it just is, and everybody experiences it differently, and you just have to kind of allow it. And it's really been a short time. So give yourself time to heal from that. And I would love to spend more time, but I really need to get through everybody else. I'm sorry. I just missed a few. If you, KK, you might have to. I'm right at the bottom of 838. I don't know if you took screenshots for those. So I'm going to keep moving forward, and then I'll get the screenshots from KK. Mojo, do you have any guidance for my guides? I've been having doubts regarding a certain situation in my life. Mojo Horizon. So I don't know if the doubts are around a relationship, because this sort of just what it feels like is like maybe I'm making not choices that are like it's hard, and maybe this isn't the right place I'm supposed to be, the person I'm supposed to be with, and um, it's sort of like understand there's a lesson in everything, and so there is no mistake. If you want to be a little bit more specific in that area, it makes it a lot quicker for me because I'm like, what am I funneling through for? It would be very helpful. Um, but the feeling is like start finding the silver lining and start finding the lesson in the areas of doubt and areas of feeling like it's a mistake or I moved in the wrong direction. Find what you were supposed to learn from that situation so that you can move forward and move on. It's also sort of looking, they're sort of talking about being a little bit more self-reflective, and instead of trying to find the answer outside of yourself, find it within yourself, meaning, instead of looking for happiness outside of yourself, find it within, find the peace within first, and then everything falls into place outside of you. It's not trying to figure out how to make everything peaceful on the outside of you. And manifestation is really helpful with that. There's another woman on here who I really, really like on YouTube, and she's also on Instagram, the holistic psychologist. I think Nicole LaPerla is her name. Serena B. Should I accept Dr. or Mr. Mahesh Prajapat to do the assessment? Will things go more smoothly from now on? Oh, okay. I got yes right away for that. So I feel like yes, that would be, and things will move smoothly. Donata, yes, I feel like Jaden will reach out to you, but it's going to be a little bit longer than you want. So I'm getting 2 to 3. So either 2 to 3 days or 2 to 3 weeks, but not far out. Pink Purple Hearts, I do feel like you will be approved. It feels like it takes a while and you get like back pay from it, but yeah, I do feel like you will be approved. Priscilla Allen, I don't feel like you will. He's just one of those souls, but I don't feel like you'll date. But there is a connection. I feel like it's like in the soul family kind of thing. Chanela Tillman, will Mike and I move in together? I heard yes right away. And I feel like sooner than you think. It will be a rough go, just so you know at the beginning. Joy Love. See, I say hi, Annalisa. Now we're at 8:40. I haven't gotten to yet. Race B wanted to say hi, my spirit team, even though they are shaking their heads. Do they have anything to say? Why do you assume they're shaking their head? Joy Love, you're next after Race B. And then everybody I skipped, she sent me screenshots, I'm pretty sure, because I just felt my watch vibrate. Yes. KK is a rock star. She sent this to me way earlier. I think, I don't know, whatever. Okay. Okay, Race B. Do you feel like the information is coming so fast you can't discern it? Because it's like, it's the way I used to hear stuff where it was like, like it was like almost like rapid fire chatting in my ear. Tell them to slow down when they're talking to your guides. I'm talking about. So when you're connecting with your own guides and your own intuition, and it just feels like it's like pummeling at you, like either image after image after image, or tell them to slow it down and ask them to be clear, or set the intention that it's going to be completely clear. Before I sit here at night, I say that the messages are going to come through clearly. I'm going to be able to relay them, that you will receive them well with intention and love and for your highest good. I set the intentions before I do it. So before you sit down and try and communicate with them directly, set an intention how it's going to go. Set the rules of the meeting. Joy, love, you are finally up. What do my spirit guides want me to know at this time? Patience is a virtue. I'm teasing. That's the worst. It's the worst. Listen, I can't tell you how many readings I have gone to as a sitter and had someone say to me, you need to guides, like my family members. It's about the journey. Be patient. Okay. When's it gonna happen? So I get it. I'm saying this with love from the same place that you're going from. I think that's yeah. Okay. So do you oftentimes worry you're going to miss something? You're going to miss an event. You're going to miss you're going to miss the call. You're going to miss the text. You're going to like read over something and miss it. And they're sort of saying like, we won't let you miss it. You're not going to miss the mark. You're not going to miss the goal. You're not going to miss where you're supposed to be because you were always on the right path at the right time and exactly where you were supposed to be. So relax a little bit. It also feels like I feel very hyper type A personality of needing to organize and needing to have everything, all of my ducks in a row, always know what's going to happen, always anticipate everything that could possibly go wrong. And they're sort of like, relax a little bit because you're missing the flavor of life and you're missing the real joy in life. That kind of goes with like letting go and being okay with just seeing what happens. If all of your plans go to complete shit, will it be okay? And they're like, there is joy in your plans not like lining up the way that you think that they should. Spiritual Seeker 583. Hello. What month and year will your daughter get pregnant? Well, she's going to get pregnant more than once. So she'll have more than one baby. For whatever reason, 2023 is lighting up really big for me. But I don't feel like that's the first one, but I feel like there's a significance about that baby that comes in that year for you that is connected to you. So maybe it's a namesake baby. Maybe there's a personality thing. Maybe there's a like shared birthday, whatever it is, the child that's born in 2023 feels very significant. So, but I don't necessarily feel like that's the first one. Isha, I do feel like he has, but I feel like it's a weird like obsession, not like a weird stalkery thing, but like a compulsive behavior of why I feel like he's not. Caramel apple. How will I be approved to move into the house I'm applying for? Yes, I heard that very quickly. Yes. Do you say caramel or caramel? Which part of the world are you from? I used to say caramel apples. I think that's a Texas thing, caramel. And caramel, I think, is more northern. Latoya. I'm experiencing some new situations for the first time in my life. You guys don't have to be so insanely general and vague. It's sometimes it's like sometimes they're kind enough, but sometimes it's like it is a little like daunting. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's see what they tell me, Latoya. Roof is rough. Exactly. My husband leaves the R out of our last name. Doesn't pronounce it because he's from New York. I'm like, there's an R in our last name. I don't care if you started with it first. There's an R in our last name. It's not like obsessive, like in a weird, but it's like I'm used to looking at this, so I'm gonna look at this, like kind of thing where it's habitual almost. You're welcome, Joy Love. You're welcome, Jazz Hands. See, I am the real deal. Latoya. Okay, wait, hang on. I gotta scroll back up. So I just lost a whole bunch of crap. Fuck. No, I lost the ones. I lost some people tonight, guys. I'm really sorry. Ooh. Wait, what is that? No. Let me see. 847. Oh, I guess some of you, no, I lost some of you somewhere. Okay, wait, Latoya just said experiencing new. Okay, wait, I got those ones. Okay, good. I feel like I can't scroll because I'm too far. Yikes. Okay, wait. Oh well, we'll figure it out. If I skipped you and I didn't get to you, there was like a little minute mark that I think I might have lost. Here, wait, let me find. Okay, but I just lost some more, but I've got them here, so I'll get to you. Don't worry. I'm not going to be able to scroll back and forth for a while to get answers, so I'm just going to have to give straight readings. I hope you guys are okay with that. And then I was just on, I think Sherry Kirk, I didn't get to yours, so I'm going to do yours real quick. I'm going to come back. I'm just going through these real quick, so be patient with me, guys. Much appreciated. You're feeling a little depressed. Any messages to help me get through this? So there's several things that are going on for you. First of all, you're empathic. So it's sort of everybody's stuff that you're feeling. It's like that hopeless and despair feeling. There's also been a lot of planetary stuff going on. I read it on somebody's. There's something planetary wise and like moving through some stuff that's kind of causing that. I do feel like in 2 weeks' time, I will feel much better and more myself again. But it feels like it takes me like 7 to 10 days to kind of pull through. But by 2 weeks, I feel like I'm on the up end of it. It really is, and I know that sounds strange. It's because you've been developing more spiritually and opening yourself up more spiritually and psychically, intuitively. You're starting to really hit and understand like be more self-aware and also starting to really open up more to the energies and things that are going on around you and in the whole world. So I'm going to leave you with that. Um, oh, it's so interesting. Your order is totally different than mine. Um, oh, Latoya. Now I'm on yours. Okay. I just keep feeling like needing to take a deep breath and go with the flow, and that none of what you're experiencing is bad. It just feels like going with the flow more. And I would feel like I honestly am leaning towards it being more having more psychic development and like those things. I'm feeling like it's kind of catching me off guard and like sort of wondering if I'm going insane or if I'm crazy. And I don't want to talk to people about it because I don't want to sound crazy. And it's because to me, but it feels like all light and all okay. Like I don't feel a heaviness and a darkness around it. I feel very like the energy around you feels very positive and very happy. So it's sort of like just go with it. Um, uh, Start researching and looking for light workers and things like that online. You'll find more like-minded people. Know that as you start to research anything, if it feels really tight in your gut or scary or makes you feel afraid, that means it's not in alignment with your soul and your higher self. Um, so a lot of the crazy conspiracy theories, I don't care what kind of spiritual end when they talk about spiritual warfare and all of that crap, if it makes you feel like shit, it's not in line with your higher self. Um, a lot of the like I'm finding out that a lot of the people that I were thought were highly intuitive and spiritual are just like I don't care how psychically gifted they are. They are like they're not enlightened, and I don't care how much they call themselves enlightened. It's like they're off on another planet. And there's a lot of them, it seems like, and it's sort of disappointing. Um, All right, Chanel Underwood, will I have another baby? I felt like yes, and I actually feel like maybe two more. I feel like maybe what I should start doing is doing all screenshots and rolling through every question that I can answer super quick, and everybody else who takes longer, who's got a very general one, has to wait because it might get me through some of these quicker. Okay, how does Megan feel about me? I feel having reservations about it, and it's not because there's anything wrong with you. It feels like she has a lot of trust issues, and so it creates a lot of barriers and inability to open up. Like even on a friend level, I just feel like it's like having reservations, but it's not about you. I feel like maybe Megan has a lot of history of trauma. Ellen R, a move to Maine, either Maine or Vermont. But I do feel like energetically it really suits you well. It feels like being able to breathe. Vicky's intuitive terrible. What's coming up? Intuitive terrible. Oh, I'm sorry. Intuitive tarot. Sorry. Um, Nothing terrible about you. I promise. Spelled it like with a W, and then you say it like a V in German. Sorry. Uh, what's coming in love for you next? What's weird is I heard next week, bam, jackpot. So it literally feels like not expected, not looking for it, nowhere I thought it would have come from, off guard. Now, like all next week, you're going to be like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So it's not necessarily exactly next week, but it feels like very soon. I feel like it comes at me unexpectedly. Leon Swags. General reading. Have you been working on opening your third eye? Because I feel like a little like this kind of feeling, like someone doing this. Like I feel like your third eye is starting to open up, and your dreams have been very significant. And I feel like you're so much calmer now. It's like each week you travel, it gets even more calm, and like sort of finding my center and finding some peace. And I think that's really important. And I gotta plug my computer in. Hmm. Hang on. Oh, KK attached to the earlier ones. Oh, you're a doll. Okay. Breezy Breezy I did. Blue Storm I did. Haha! Yay! Okay, I'm gonna back up and backtrack because I have these other ones who for people who went in earlier. Blue Storm. So the immediate feeling I got is there's something called nonviolent communication. It's like, so I don't know. It just feels like the way I'm approaching it, I need to do it as like humor me with this. So like it's kind of like humble yourself a little bit. It's like you can stick to your guns. You can get what you need in a very like humble way. You can, where it's like they're doing you a favor, sort of make them think it's their idea, is the feeling I get. So it feels like sticking to your guns on it, but sort of like, why don't you try it out and see if it works? If it doesn't, that kind of thing. Like, give me X, Y, and Z amount of time. And if I can't, or why don't you give me a raise here? And then if I do well here, can we come up to the point that I want to? Like, it just feels like kind of like moving towards them, but not letting go of what your goal is. Irene A. When will T and you communicate? I don't know that you and T will communicate. And I also feel like it would be like through a text or something. It's in writing. It doesn't feel like it's. Shannon Lane. So they're just wanting to congratulate you and saying like that, like, again, you've been doing some self-care lately and like kind of like taking care of yourself and rebooting, and they're congratulating you on that because you've really, really needed it. And to like, they're sort of like, keep up the good work. It's important to take care of yourself too. Urban Lady messages. Melody, I don't have your last name because there's an arrow down, but I wanted to tell you that I will not tell you your spirit guides' names. I sort of have a policy that I think it's more authentic and more real for you to do a guided meditation where you go and you meet your guides and you get to know them and you see what they look like. Because if I tell you first, oh, it's this name and this, they look like this, then if you do a guided meditation and you meet someone, you're like, well, is this really who I'm meeting, or am I making this up in my head because this is what Anna said? So I have a meditation to, it's either, you can either meet with your spirit guides or your loved ones. I only have 3 meditations on here, so it's in one of the playlists. It feels like, go do that and then come back and ask what, what they're like or what they are, so that you, or can you confirm, or can you give me anything that would validate my experience? It will make it a better and experience for you, in a more like, holy shit kind of a moment, than just like, oh, well, she said this and like now I did this and that's exactly what I saw. And the skeptic in me knows that this is the right way for you to do it. Urban lady. I really just feel like for you, just breathing and relaxing is really important, because everything is so stressful right now. And it just feels like just really making sure you're drinking your tea and like doing whatever it is you need to wind down and take that time. And for your husband to know, like, you need to do this, because it's like, for, like happy wife, happy life, that kind of like, you are the core of your home. I really feel like that. And not every woman is, but I feel like in your case you are. You're the core of your home, and if you are, and your son is very sensitive to your energy, if you are off kilter at all, he senses that. So it feels like, for the vibration of your home to be the right vibration, you need to be the right vibration. And it isn't about panicking about it, but it's about offering yourself space so that you can calm down and relax. Nicole, do I see what's happening in your career? Um, I don't see much of a change for maybe 2.5, 3 years. So I get the 2 to 3 year range. And then I see actually like moving in a totally different direction. So whether it's going back to school or getting an offer where it's like, they like your personality and they're willing to give you a shot because they see that you're a hard worker. That's sort of the feeling I get, is that movement. But I don't see like what it is exactly, but it feels like just like changing directions. Lisa, you asked about donations. There's a link on the bottom of this. When it posts, it's PayPal me. It's paypal.me/Annalisa MSF, as in my spiritual friend, /. That's it. So this has been a really stressful time with work and balancing life. I met a new man in business, but not sure what to do. Not expecting anything, but I feel it was meant to be. The name is Mark. I feel like whatever the connection is, it's slower than you want because it is business. I feel like he is very business oriented. I also feel like he's sort of he's not one to really know when someone's flirting with him. Like, he just doesn't know. He doesn't pick up on it. But I feel like just go slow, no expectations is what I keep getting. Slow, no expectations, and enjoy it. Okay. Got through the first set. Now I think I might be able to catch up to where I was. Okay, I think I'm on Taurus Sun Girl. Yes. Okay. What is Jay's next move towards you? I just heard ask you on a date. Like I feel like this is very like a very slow drawn out thing. I don't know that this will go anywhere, to be honest with you. I've said this before. When a guy likes you, you just know. Like they don't hesitate. There is no back and forth. What's he thinking? Where am I at? And the other idea is like they're sort of saying is like just relax and enjoy the journey. Don't worry about where it's going to go and where it's going to end up. Just enjoy and relax about it. Ellen, I feel like you'll find work there. I feel like actually working from home. Elantra Cook, how does Marquise feel about you right now? I know a Marquise. He's a good guy. I feel like Marquise is very busy, extremely career oriented. So it's really hard for him to like, I don't know if he's a lawyer or not, but like lawyers are literally always working and they have like 5 minutes here that they can give you. It feels like that. Like so instead of being like, oh, you're only giving me that much time, really value something because time is very valuable. So if someone's giving that to you, be appreciative of it. Just wondering why I was getting so hot. I forgot about the heater. Oh, okay. Time is extremely valuable. So if he only has a little bit and he's choosing it to spend it with you, appreciate that because I feel like he is interested, but I also feel like I'm very work oriented. So I'm like sort of moving in that direction. Nancy, honestly, that's such a broad question. I feel like something like that is actually just way better as a reading question, like a full private reading question. What should your next path be? Because I could read your energy and give you a better idea. Like tune into your voice. Actually, it's a whole different thing than here. They keep telling me they're like, you're so afraid you want somebody to tell somebody what to do, and they're sort of like, we keep putting it right in front of her, and she just questions it, doesn't think it's possible. So it's like you have the idea and you have the insight and the inspiration and the like literally right in front of you, and you're not doing it. So I don't know what this is, but it's like I've been mulling it over, but I want confirmation that it's okay. And they're like sort of like, we keep putting the idea in front of you and validation all over the place, and you're sort of like either thinking it's in your head or not. They're like, just do what we've been like, what's right in front of you. I have to leave you with that because I'm so afraid to scroll down and lose stuff. Let me see if I can. Hang on. Let me see where this is at, where you're on here. Positive tales. Do I feel I would be financially stable? I do feel like you'll be financially stable. I do feel like it's a little tough through October and November, and then it like kind of starts to creep up and do better. But it becomes more stable definitely in 2021. Now, do I feel like an excess? Not quite, but I feel like doing well enough. But I don't feel like I'm having to like move bills around and things like that in order to make ends meet. Sarah Prop. I don't know. So the feeling I get is no. Because I feel like I find something that actually is more of my that resonates more with my soul, that I have more of an intuitive connection and alignment with, that's like really my gift. It doesn't mean you're not a beautiful singer. It just means I don't actually feel like that ends up being the direction I move. Manya Manj. Have you been working on connecting with your guides? Because I just feel like keep up the good work. You've been working on connect with us. It's like keep up the homework, and I feel like keep recognizing them, and like sort of like, I don't know if it's like you've been writing stuff down or what, but it feels like keep journaling, keep doing this, because it's like it's shifting your energy and your own vibration and sort of moving you into a better space. Cindy T, no, about Shane crushing on you. Marijuana community, will you get a new job? Yes. I feel like you're going to have one. It's short term. And then moving into something more long term. So it may be that like your temp to hire, that's sometimes that happens too, where it's like they hire you and then like work for them for 6 months or 6 weeks or whatever the probationary period is, and then being hired on full time. Nicole Plant. Oh, okay. Be early. You and Jeff. I feel like things are moving forward in a more serious direction. I feel like having to have a conversation, whether it's like we're friends, do we want to move forward from this, or we're like, it's like that next step feeling, like moving on towards more seriousness. So it's a feeling of like we decide to move past friendship and move into romance, or we decide to take it from you know, a committed relationship to becoming a live-in relationship situation. But it feels like that next step, but I don't feel marriage is the next step. And thank you for all of my new subscribers and everybody who hangs out here forever and ever and ever. Maybe it's just enough for you to fall asleep too. I've been told that I'm relaxing. I make people fall asleep. Bonita, I do feel like you would do well in nursing. Shug is your grandson, Kieran. Let me just answer these other ones and then I will work on that. There's like one other question here and then I will answer yours. Are you still here, Shug? I'll scroll down in a second and see. Jam for Javon. I feel like the reason why is you actually have a cord tying you together, like an energetic cord. So you can have there are energy healers that do this work, and I recommend this guy. His name is Daniel Teague, and his website is Vega Star Healings. I'm going to put it right here. if you don't figure out the core of it and kind of like do like a thing yourself, then sometimes that stuff comes back. So this is what I'm going to tell you. There are visualizations you can do where you see a cord connecting both of you and you send love from your cord all the way. Just keep sending love and love and love and love and love. And you release that cord with love. And you ask angels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, who's the healer, Archangel Gabriel, who's the communicator, Michael's the protector. And you ask, and Archangel Chamuel is the Archangel of Love. And it's not about romantic love, it's about unconditional love. And unconditional love, even if you want to be done with somebody, you can still send love in that direction. It's never going to take away from you. So you send love, you send love, you send love, and you ask for assistance of all of the angels to help release this cord and send love and thank for that. Be thankful for that relationship that you had and all that you've learned from it. But you are now releasing in every direction of time and space anything that is no longer serving your highest good and the need to be connected to this person, that all karmic issues and all karmic debts are forgiven, and just release that. Then you're going to, at the end, after you see this cord being removed from your body and a wound in your body, because this is how I visualize things because I was a nurse, fill and pack that wound with green light for healing, and then seal it with a white light. And you may have to sometimes do this visualization a few times before you finally fully cut that cord. That's what I recommend doing. Okay. All right, Shug, are you still here? I'm going to check and see if you're still here because I really need you to be here in order for me to connect with your grandson. And the name is Kieran. Hi, Emily. Emily, I heard from Heather made the phone call. Is she she's not working with them, or she is, or she was just making phone calls? You are doing enough. Okay, if Shug isn't here, I'm gonna have to go because it's really hard to do the mediumship without like the back and forth. Oh my God, it's been almost 2 hours, y'all. It's so long. I feel like if I'm not myself and I talk at all, or if I am myself and I talk and I'm back and forth, then these go really, really long. I don't think Shug is here. So hopefully they'll come back for the next time. So I'm going to say good night, because if you guys have heard the Shug part, then that means I've got past the delay. KK, you're a rock star and an angel. Thank you so much for all that you do for me. Oh, she was just making phone calls, so she won't be teaching. Oh, boo. Maybe. Oh, you're here. You're here. Ha. Okay, let's try this. I'm feeling generous, even though I have an early morning. I don't function well early. Okay. Okay. You got, I gave your answer, Jen. Okay. So Shug. Okay. Kieran. So the initial feeling I really get when I'm connecting it is feeling very dizzy and off-centered. So if I feel very dizzy, sometimes to me this means the passing is either like there's somehow a substance involved. So I hate doing these on big things like this. Was it a drug overdose, or was there somehow alcohol related or drug related? You're welcome, spiritual seeker. Shug, does that make any sense? You connect in with that, the dizziness, the feeling off center, the like. So to me, it literally feels like being under the influence of something that, so what would make me feel dizzy if it was a drug would be like uh, a benzodiazepine, like an Ativan, a Valium, something like along those lines. I need feedback. Ah, okay. Does your grandson being under the influence of something make sense at the time of his passing? Because I just feel very dizzy. So, or would dizziness connect with how he passed? I mean, it's like the center of my brain feels off, and I feel very nauseated. The other thing I'm getting is I feel like alcoholism runs in the family. Yeah, Karen, does this make sense? I'm trying to connect in because he's not coming through very strongly. So I'm trying to get however he's deciding to communicate with me. I know his name, Kieran, but do these things connect with his passing or with your family? Or do any of these, can you validate any of these? Kieran. Forgive me if I'm not getting the pronunciation right. I can't get stuck on that. I feel really bad saying that, but I need to be able to connect with him. And so I need you to tell me if these things make sense. Why would I feel very dizzy when I'm connecting in? Do you have vertigo? Do you have dizziness? So what I'm going to say is because it's really late and I'm really tired and I have a very early morning tomorrow. If you want to do a private reading to connect in with him, that's for mediumship is always the best. Um, So what I would say is reach out to me for a private reading and do a private reading. It's a little harder the back and forth here like this, and I'm not really sure if I'm feeling your energy or if I'm feeling his energy, because I heard a little voice that it said like I will always be your baby kind of thing, and I heard like a little child's voice, but I don't feel like Karen was that old. What's yes, yes? Uh, um, so if you want a private reading that would work better, you can purchase one, and I will schedule it for you. I have openings this week. Yes, Priscilla, your reading was done. But try and stay here for them because it helps my numbers too. All right, Shug, I gotta go. But if you'll connect in, it's so much and it's hard with the back and forth, and it's hard because there's also about a minute time delay. You'll have to go back and find it once it posts, Priscilla. I don't know. And I've lost a whole bunch by now. I've been on here for so long. So I'm going to say good night. Thank you, everybody, for joining me and for supporting me, all of my new subscribers. I appreciate you. I really have the best group here. Why are you sad? I have to go now. I hope you have a wonderful week. Shug, there's too much of a delay. Hang on. Shauna, what was I went through all the questions and I had everything time stamped. So maybe you came in after she cut everything off. But I really need to go because I just I'm tired. I've been on here for 2 hours. That's a really long time. And I do have a very early morning and I can never fall asleep right away. So it's almost 11 o'clock here. And hi, Lisa. Have a good night. Yay. Book a private reading. I'm sorry, Shug, for not being able to fully connect in. I tried the best that I could, but there was also a delay in the way you were answering me. He was 3, so I heard a little boy's voice. There's some kind of dizziness, so that's what I would rather, I don't know if it's yours and you were only answering yes, yes, and so if I ask a couple questions, I just need clarity, really is what I need. So I don't know what I was feeling. It really is easier to do mediumship when I do it as a private, and I can have that verbal back and forth with you versus the delay and the writing. And it's easier when I can actually connect in with your energy or see a picture of him or something like that. Sometimes it's a little harder, and I apologize for that, but I do try to do it here. As you could see with Jazz Hands, I was able to connect in with his mother. For whatever reason, it was easier. So I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for the loss of your grandson. There might be something about dizziness, that maybe a medication he was given for however he passed. I don't know, but there is something about dizziness and nausea that connects in for some reason. Okay. So if you want to do a private reading, please reach out. But I really need to end my session tonight because I am exhausted. And I hope that you understand. All right, everybody. Have a good night. I will talk to you next week, Sunday. I will be back.